Good morning, afternoon, whenever you're watching this, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the market prep. We're going to teach you how we run through things. The market prep is so important. This is what you want to do either the night before or the morning of, so you can set your alerts on different tickers so you know where those those trend breakouts, those base breakouts are, where the actual market's moving, whether you're a short-term trader, whether you're an intraday trader, a swing trader, a scalper, or a long-term investor. Welcome to the channel. My name's Dave. We're going to go through everything right here, right now. We're going to keep it educational and fun. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you have not already. I know we have a lot of returning viewers, which is a beautiful thing, but let's just jump right into it. Now, do keep in mind, if you hear me silent at any point in time, I'm in here with the Discord. If you want to join the Discord, check the description. Absolutely free. We never ask for your money, only your time. And if you hear me go silent, it's because I'm listening to somebody in the crew. We chit chat, we bring ideas, we bring stocks, we do analysis together, because that's how to do it. You don't want this job to be lonely, do you? Especially after you've been doing it for a while. You start getting in your own head. We like to bounce ideas off of each other. Now, let's jump right into this, guys. Let me take a sip of coffee. Glad to be back on my coffee off of those energy drinks. Man, that's good. I missed it. All right. S&P 500. If you were with me yesterday or if you watched any of my YouTube shorts, you will know I'm expecting a pullback. I'd like to see it pulling back to, it doesn't have to get to, but I'd like to see it come back down to and retest this 50-day moving average. If we can retest this 50-day moving average, things will look very very constructive, okay? Now, this pullback that we're starting to have, this is the hourly chart up top here. This right here is the base, that $500 psychological area that I pointed out to you that we took trades off of. As it bounced, we took NVIDIA and Tesla and a few other ones, right? And they bounced up. Well, we've exited most of those positions up here, and we're waiting for that pullback to that 50-day moving average. And we've actually switched biases on a few trades, but we'll get back into that in a little bit. Let's show you the process. The S&P 500 above all moving averages. We talked about this yesterday, where we want to see these moving averages start to line up, just like you see over here on this side. Let me make this a little bigger for you. So look, guys, we want the moving averages to line up. So we have the 50, the 30, the 21, the 10, the 10, the 21, the 30, the 50. They're all lined up. They're looking clean. And when that happens, looking beautiful, constant uptrend, right? Now that we had this huge pullback, you can see this turn into a bowl of spaghetti, right? It's a bowl of spaghetti in a 6-day red sauce, right? We don't want none of that. We want to see things clearing out. Now, when this broke the 21-day moving average, in the Discord, we talked about how we need to be weary because it's never broke the 21-day moving average before. And sure as shit, this thing failed after that. We don't like to see that. We would like to be hands off, and we were hands off for the most part. We did do some intraday shorting, which was nice. Made a little bit of money on the downfall, so our long-term accounts didn't take such a big hit. So that was a beautiful thing. Now we had a pop. We talked about it getting up to the 50-day moving average. It did. It failed. It came back up to the 50-day moving average, and this was kind of that final boss, right? Fight. Fatality, right? It got uppercutted. That was a beautiful thing. It moved up even higher. I was expecting it to pull back from here to go to the 50-day moving average. Maybe not expecting it, but more hoping that we wouldn't go straight up. And sure enough, we continued higher and then started our pullback towards the end of the day. Now this morning, if we look at that, we can see that we're starting to get a pullback. So now we're at 515.32. So let's blow this back up. 515.32. Let's see where we're at. So we're about right here, guys. We've almost made it to previous day's lows. We're safe here. I think it's going to chop around and bounce around for now. When I say safe, it's relative, right? What do I mean by safe? Well, what I mean by that is we're above all the moving averages still. The moving average is starting to converge, where the 10 is now above the 21 and the 30. The 21 is looking like it's trying to get above the 30 today. And we talked about if we had a sideways action day, we would start seeing this. Next step is to get these simple moving averages over these these exponential moving averages over the simple moving averages. All right. And that should take some time just by trading sideways, or even trading sideways and then heading higher. You're going to see all these line up. And when that happens, that's when we hit the gas. We hit that gas pedal, baby, and we start to rip tater chip to the north side. You know I love to see the market heading higher. Why? Because we have 401ks, we have Roth IRAs, we have long-term investing accounts, especially with this site. You guys know that I'm trading VTI and VOO. You know that I have other accounts outside of this that I love to see go higher, right? It increases my wealth. It increases my opportunity. It increases my wealth for my children in the future. Just kidding. They're not getting anything, but just there is some truth to that. But no, I'm only kidding. So let's go ahead and go to the next one here. So we have the QQQs. It is your tech heavy ETF. This is very important that we look at this because it led the way to the north side. It brought the whole market, the whole S&P up on the rise way back here, guys. It's what started it, and now it's trading sideways. Huge pullback today, 437.80 in the pre-market. So we're just above that 50-day moving average. So what do I want to see? I want to see it bounce off this area. If not, and it breaks through the 50-day moving average, that is going to be a little nerve-wracking for bigger investors. If they see that we're doing a big pullback and we break through that 50-day moving average, they're going to want to be hands off of this, okay? So keep that in mind. If we break this 50-day moving average, not just teeter through it or peck around or trade sideways in it, but if we break it, we get down somewhere around 433. That's going to be a little nerve-wracking. Now, 433, this could be support, 433.50. So maybe we shouldn't say that. But if we break through that 50, it's going to be a little nerve-wracking for some investors. Then I'd say 433.50 could make a new higher low. Why do I say that? Well, look at the support here, guys. Let me blow this up so we can see it. Right here, boom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 areas of support. I almost feel like I need to make this a bigger line. Can we do that? Let's see, width right here, boom, bada bing, bada boom. All right, boom. Now that you know, okay, this is going to be your next area of support. So if it does break through the 50-day moving average, the 433.50 is going to be a huge area of support. So keep that in mind. I don't see why it couldn't come back down here. Retest this area. You guys know I've said this many, many times. Retesting is a good thing. It's retesting the price to show that we are strong. This will tell you, hey, if it comes down here and it retests this area, we will know if it's going to be strong or not. I'm even going to set an alert right here so that way if it does retest and I'm away from my computer, I know that when we retest from there, that might be a good idea to find those leader stocks, right? Get back into NVIDIA, switch my bias maybe on Tesla, depending on where it's at, although it's below a 200-day moving average. We're going to keep shorting that, baby. Finding the leaders in the overall tech sector, Google, Meta's really ramped right back up there. But we'll go through those in a minute. IWM, so this is your Russell 2000. Very important to keep an eye on this. We want to see breadth in the market. It popped right back up. You've seen this. I marked this resistance. We talked about this yesterday. It smacked right into that. So if you don't believe in technical analysis, right here's your technical analysis. You better get to believing if you want to make some money in this market. Right here, we popped up. We found resistance. This is looking like a head and shoulder pattern on an ETF. Now let me go ahead and restore the cells. Look at that. Boom. Right where I marked it, ladies and gentlemen. This is not voodoo magic. This is simple technical analysis. Now, it looks like we're going to pull right back to where? Well, let's test that 50-day moving average. We have rising moving averages coming up below that. We also have support at that $200 psychological level. Remember, it was so hard to get through that $200 area. Well, now that we're through that $200 area, I believe that $200 area is going to act as some support. So if I just draw this out here for you, boom, okay? That's your murky waters. If we break below that, that's going to be scary, all right? But this should be support. It is support. If it doesn't act as support, then that's some scary signs. And I want to remind everybody in the Discord, if you have anything that you want to say or bring up, we have the water cooler chat. I have that up this time so that way I don't miss out on what you guys are saying. Also, if you want to just chit chat, I got you in my ear still. You're more than welcome to talk. I don't want anybody being shy. If you have any questions or anything, remember I'm here for you. NASDAQ also pushing up right into that area of resistance. Again, I want to see a pullback. We don't want to go straight up, guys. What goes up must come down. What goes up faster comes down faster and harder, right? At least that's true in the market. There's terminal velocity. We could go into the scientific BS of that, but we're not going to do that. Dow Jones Industrial, same thing, above a 50-day moving average. Things are looking very constructive here, guys. I love to see it, but I don't want to head straight up. I want to pull back. I want to retest. I want to show myself. I want to show the market. I want to show you that that price action area is strong. There is institutional buying going on in that area. That's some good coffee. I need a coffee sponsorship. If you're listening and if you're Mr. Folgers or Mr. Maxwell House coffee, I'll drink your crap. I'll drink whatever, dude. I will. Actually, I probably won't even drink it. I'll probably make my own hazelnut coffee and act like I'm drinking Folger House, okay? But give me that sponsor. Let's go. I want to make some more money, baby. Let's go. SMH. So this is going to be your semiconductor ETF, all right? This semiconductor ETF is what led the way in the market with the QQQs, okay? It's part of it, right? Your semiconductors, your MU, your Taiwan Semiconductor, your NVIDIAs, your AMDs, all of those led those to the north side. Now, why are we pulling back? Well, look, this is clear, a very clear area of resistance right here, guys. There's a ton of trading here. So when we come up to this area, you can see this is right before the big sell-off, right? We didn't breach that. We got up into it and we started to sell off. That's actually a bad sign, but above the moving averages, you really can't complain. I'm washing my hands of the bad sign because we're still above the moving averages. So we're going to keep focused on that. We have new higher lows being made. Where is this next new higher low going to end up? Now, currently, where we're trading is just below that 50-day moving average. So we're above the 10, 21, and 30, but now the SMH has just broken that 50-day moving average, okay? We want to see support right here, right where it's at, guys, 218.25. This should act some more as support, but we'll see what happens here. Let's keep a close eye. We definitely don't want to turn our backs on that one. The RSP, so this is the equally weighted S&P 500. I explain this every time, so I'll save my breath. But long story short, it's the S&P 500 if each ETF weighed the same inside of it. Look at this red line. Why is this red line here? I didn't draw this just now. I drew this because this is an active area of support or resistance, okay? Why do I say or support or resistance? Well, above, it's going to act as support. Below, it's going to act as resistance. Look at this. It's all-time high here. That's its all-time high. You stretch it out over here, you can see we've had resistance once, support twice, resistance. It's trading right around this area. Why? Because it's a very, very important area. We broke above it, we acted as support. We broke below it. What do you think is going to happen when we come back up and touch it? It's going to act as resistance. We're just trading sideways here now in the equally weighted RSP. What's beautiful about this is really good news here, guys, is as the overall indices start to pull back, the S&P 500, the IWM, the QQQs are all pulling back today. The SPY's down 0.33%. The QQQ's down 0.5%. The IWM's almost down a full percentage point. The RSP, it might change at market open, but from what I'm seeing right now, it's trading sideways. So it's showing that there is breadth in the market. Where is that money going to? Well, I can show you exactly where that money is starting to flow into. And these are the stocks that we're going to keep on our watch list, but we need to finish running through this. The dollar looks like it's on the rise a little bit today. Towards the end of the day yesterday, as we had that sell-off, there's that inverse correlation we talked about. The market goes up, the dollar comes down. The dollar goes up, the market comes down. That's the inverse correlation. Next up, Bitcoin. Bitcoin is trailing down this trend line. I drew this trend line, it broke above that trend line, and now it's just riding on top of it, still holding to the downside, okay? So unless this breaks up, I don't want to draw a line on here, but this needs to show some active trading. It's below its 50-day moving average. It's below all these moving averages currently. It's not looking too good for Bitcoin. If anything, this is looking like a big drip, right? It looks like it's sitting on a ledge and it's going to drip right back down to this area of $5,800. All right, so Bitcoin is looking at this point in time. Things can change on a whim, but at this point in time, it's looking bearish here. We're at these highs, right? We're at all this resistance. It's not showing that it wants to break through this resistance or through this resistance. So now we're down here. The next area is support. We want to come all the way back down to this $5,800 and see if there's support there. So Bitcoin is looking bearish for today. Gold. So gold is finding some support here. Okay, I'm using the GLD futures. So gold, let's just look at GLD. This is the Spider Trust, so we can see how it's doing in pre-market. It's showing a little bit of support here, guys. It is showing support. There's no denying that there is some support here. So will it break down? Will it continue to break down from here? Now, I am bearish on gold just because I have the general public asking me. I've told you guys this before. The general public starts asking people that watch the market questions like, hey, what do you think about this ticker? It's time to short it. That's not always true. That's not back tested. It's just something I've learned over time. If the general public starts getting knowledge about things that are hot, that usually means that that's going to be its euphoric blow off top, and we need to short it, okay? Now, you guys know I like to look at the VIX Volatility Index. It is your fear gauge. Our fear gauge in the overall market is sitting down here at 1348, so that's a good sign. Now, we are getting a little bit of a pop here. It's nothing crazy, okay? It's just a little bit of fear, just a little fear that there's something under your bed. You just got to keep under the blankets. Don't let your toes poke out, and this volatility won't get you. But we do need to keep an eye on it, right? We do need to keep an eye on it because there's still a monster in the closet that is volatility, right? So make sure you keep a light on when you sleep. But keep your light on VIX Volatility Index. So many similes there, guys, and I think everybody at some point in time can relate to that one. So the VIX Volatility Index here is sitting at 1348. It's a beautiful, beautiful measurement that shows what is or what isn't when it comes to how much fear is in the market. So that's what I definitely like to look at. So let's go over. I want to bring up a couple of things, guys. First of all, I want to bring up MMFI. So this shows where things are above. So this is the percentage of stocks that are above the 50-day moving averages. Okay. So right now, where we sit, we have 52% of stocks above their 50-day moving averages. Okay. So if you follow IBD or the William O'Neill's Investors or anything like that, you'll know that we want to see a higher percentage of people of stocks above their 50-day moving average. So at 52%, that's a good sign. It's a good sign that we are above those moving averages. We are above that 50-day of 52%. So over half of our stocks are above the 50-day moving average. Okay, so that's a good sign. When we start to break below that, it starts to get a little nerve-wracking. Another thing I like to bring up, let me see if I can do this real quick. There it is. Okay, so if I bring this up, this is another thing. My buddy Danny showed me this. Not these ads. So buy some food. Look at this old man. Let's see if I can get rid of this somehow. Yeah, I can't get rid of it. I don't know why. All right, but anyway, this little piece right here, don't worry about this. We're not shopping on this channel, okay? But it is nice to see that prices are coming down. I'm just kidding. That's pretty expensive for pop. But anyway, we want to see this curling up. This shows that we are making new higher highs in the markets, right? That stocks are making new higher highs. This red is showing new lower lows. This is showing new higher highs, and we're starting to get a curl on this moving average, okay? So keep that in mind. I like to look at this. I could put it in the chat for you guys if you want to use that as well. So we are looking still very positive in the overall market until we are not. Now, let's see. I want to go over a few of these like Google. We know that Google was an extremely strong and is still an extremely strong stock in this market. Why? Well, when the market was pulling down, when the market was failing during that 6-day bloody sell-off, Google had no idea. If you were watching Google, you would have never knew that we had a sell-off in the S&P 500. So Google is a leader in this overall market, and you definitely need to keep Google on your watch list. Also, we have Apple. So Apple also broke up above this and now is starting to form that trend line, okay? So if Apple wants to break above this trend line, that could be a very seriously bullish sign. But I think it still needs some more time, maybe a couple more days. But it is making new higher lows. So as of right now, if we look at this, you can see it's got this beautiful flag, this bull flag pennant formation. So I'm gonna go ahead and set my alert here, so that way I can be alerted. This isn't something I'm probably gonna trade because it's a slower mover at 2%. But I still would like to know if Apple's doing well, right? So we have Google, we have Apple, and let's not forget about Meta here. Meta dropped over $100 on its earnings, even though they beat on earnings. They have definitely made a huge comeback. They've made up 65% of that loss, guys. That's a beautiful sign in the overall market, okay? Let's look at Snap. Snap had a huge drop today, but look at Snap. Beautiful uptrend right up here into this resistance area. We can mark this resistance area out right here. If we go about right there, you can see all these tops. And look, it came right up. It almost touched all those tops, and now it started to fail. So Snapchat needs some time to digest. Maybe let these moving averages catch up. The 10, 21, and 30-day moving averages catch up. And let's see if it wants to head to the north side. XOM still heading down lower, which is great for my short account, but we'll see what happens overall. Let me get a sip of this coffee. If you guys got anything to say, now's the time to say it. Oh, that's good coffee. And guys, listen, if I'm bringing you any entertainment, any joy, any pleasure, anything whatsoever, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. We do this every single day, whether I'm bringing you bite-sized data or information, whether I'm going live, like we are going live tomorrow for the data that's coming in, for the initial jobless claims data. We also go live for Papa Powell's Fed talks, right? We go live for the Fed rate hikes. We bring you shorts on any other types of data, on trades that we do, and we do pre-market prep. We're going to do the nighttime prep as well in our Discord. Every single day we'll record it for you. We'll post it for you. We are here for you. I want you to be here for me. So click that like, click that subscribe button, baby. All right, so that's pretty much all the stocks I really wanted to go over. We can go over some of these other ones like airlines. Airlines started to show some relative strength here. I'm just going to flip through these charts. It looks like DAL is still holding up very, very well. If I look at a few of these other, like JetBlue's taking a crap. United Airlines is showing a lot of constructive ability here now, holding that 10-day moving average. I think just a little bit longer and this thing might pop. We also have Jets, which is the ETF. Okay, so keep Jets on your watch list if you're watching these, because if it breaks out, it's going to fly to the north side. Pun definitely intended. And I always like to look at Boeing, just because Boeing's been so far beat down. But who else is doing this other than, what is that other one? Airbus, I think. Nobody else is making these planes. So if Boeing is one of the only manufacturers in this, I think Boeing has an opportunity to continue higher off these lows. Ugh. These are my thoughts, though, not yours. We also have China. So we have PDD, China. We have PDD looking constructive, breaking out, still a little stretch from those moving averages. We have NEO. NEO had a nice little pop, but below a 200-day moving average, so just keeping an eye on it. We have BABA, which is now below a 200-day moving average, and it's, anytime it's gotten close to this 200-day moving average, it's gotten sold off. But here's what we're looking at. Above this declining trend line, and with earnings coming out on the 14th, we want to see this thing rip, tater chip to the north side. It might be a nice trade after earnings, but we have to wait till after earnings because you know my thoughts on earnings. We don't trade earnings. They are a gamble. Kava. Kava's got earnings coming up too on the 28th. We still have some time for that. It's coming back now and retesting that same area that I wanted to take on the breakout. So I'm going to go ahead and set my alert for this right here, because if it hits this alert at or below and the overall indices start showing support, guess who's taking Kava, baby? Me. Not you, but me, baby. CMG, which is your Chipotle, which I feel like is the leader in these restaurants, is looking very constructive here. We have Domino's Pizza. Put that on your watch list. This is a much slower mover. Domino's Pizza is looking very constructive. I'm getting some pizza today, but it's not Domino's. We have EAT, Brinker International, looking absolutely beautiful up here, but it's very extended. So let's see if it can show some support on one of these moving averages before it continues higher. We also have First Watch Restaurant, and I don't know about you guys. Let me know in the comments. Have you ate here? Has anybody ate here? Either way, the earnings show that they're not cleaning their countertops. No, the First Watch Restaurant. I would love to know if anybody's ate here. I never looked anything up, but let me know in the comments if you've ate here, if you like it, what's good, what's bad. But I put it on here because it was looking very beautiful here. But obviously, the earnings showed that not everybody's out there buying their food. Also, excuse me. Whew. I don't know if you guys speak yawn or not, but that was that. Loco's still trying to hold up here after earnings. We had a big pop up here. I tried to play this as an EP. This was not an EP. After I did a deeper dive, we'd seen all this resistance above this. If I wanted it to be an EP, it needed a gap way up here or way up into the 20s. It's okay. I took a small loss on this, very small loss on this. It's A-okay. But now it's showing constructive movement, just kind of trading sideways here. So I like to see it. Let's see. We have SG. SG's holding out sideways. We got earnings, I believe, in 2 days. 2 days. So today, tomorrow, and then after hours, it's going to come out with earnings. Shake Shack, I have a breakout area up here just below, just around 109-ish, 108-ish. We have Texas Roadhouse, which is still extended from its moving averages. But guys, look at Wing. Okay, Wing is also extended from its moving averages. It had a nice breakout here, another retest. We didn't get in on that because of the whole earnings debacle. It really came all the way down to its 50-day moving average and got bought right back up. Great buy opportunity, but I was not there for it. But that's okay. You cannot catch them all. This is not Pokemon. We also have the shippers, guys, and I do hold a trade in the shippers, but the shippers are Rip Tater Chip. They must be manufacturing those potato chips, and that's what's on all those shipping boats. They're shipping potato chips to everyone. GSL here, huge breakout, huge breakout. Look at this beautiful cup with handle, and it broke out to the north side. Now we don't know where its next stop is. We have KEX, which is Kirby Corporation. Beautiful movement here, straight up, pulled back, created a downtrend. I love these trends. I love these clean trend breaks as well. You have a trend, you break it. Now, I probably wouldn't have taken this because I still would be waiting for the moving averages to catch up underneath it. But this is clearly showing strength in this. So if I could find an area to get in, that would be absolutely beautiful. Maybe we even just set an alert for this all-time high to see what it wants to do up there. Not saying I would take it up there because I'm already in the shipping sector, the shipping ship sector. We also have S-Bulk. Look what happened to S-Bulk, guys. Look at that breakout on volume. Whoa. Now that is what you want to see. Absolutely beautiful rip right through there, heading higher. That's what you want to see. Now, why did I not take S-Bulk? Well, because it's a slower mover at 2.4%. I decided to get into SHIP, which moves 4.6%. Another beautiful base here, guys. A beautiful, beautiful base. This thing not only based out beautifully, but in the open, in the market open, this thing showed volume. We took it right at that base breakout at 971. This thing is gapping up in the after hours at 1033. Even when the market was pulling back yesterday, SHIP said, hell no, we're not having any of that. We're going to keep on shipping ships of shipping shippers. And it just kept heading to the north side, guys. It's absolutely beautiful. You love to see it. That's when you know that you're in something very strong, is when the overall market starts to pull back. You can't even tell because it wants to continue higher. We have retail internet, which we're just going to go over CPNG and Amazon. CPNG came out with earnings yesterday and the after hours. It came right back down and found support at 2112, and now it's trying to show that it still can head higher here. So it's going to have some proving to do in this area. But when the overall market was pulling back, this just traded sideways. So this is relatively strong in the overall market, now showing with its earnings. Actually, they didn't have an earnings beat. They failed their earnings test there. So they're down a cent. No big deal, but we'll see how it does. And then we have Amazon. Amazon reached an all-time new high. An all-time new high, guys. Never before has Amazon seen this price and we hit that yesterday. After Amazon hit that price, it said, you know what? It's time for me to take a rest. This is a big boat of a stock, so it does slow movements. Moved all the way up here, hit this top. Now it needs to digest some of this information, maybe come back down, find some support on that 10 or 21-day moving average before it continues higher. So we're going to wait and find out. Now, let me look over some of these earnings really quick. Sometimes this is where I kind of got to do a deeper dive. INOD. I like to look at their earnings to see if it's any crazy surprise on these or if it's a crazy gap up. If it's gapped up over any of the key areas of resistance here. Oh shit. Can you? Oh, okay. You know, it's funny. Predator, when you if you guys rewatch this video, you guys really need to see how much that made me jump. That was hilarious. I haven't heard anybody talking in my ear this whole time, so I'm so focused, and I'm like so looking at all these stocks, and then the Predator popped in and was like, "Hey, Dave," you know, and I jumped like a mile, so that was hilarious. Predator's the only one that can't hear me. I can leave and come back. I get. Can you? Okay. So if it's only Predator, you got to fix your stuff. Tell Predator he's got to fix his junk. Tell him to leave and come back. Oh, you do? All you had to do was scare the crap out of me, and then it works. All right. Yeah, it woke me right up. That was better than a cup of coffee. All right, we have Clove right into an area of resistance. RPTX. I know Danny Boy's watching this one here. But it's not, well, it's beaten down. It's gapped up above some resistance. Definitely have to keep an eye on that. Up 20%. Just really don't like these shit stocks down below the 200 moving average, but I'll keep an eye on it. MYGN, let's see here, gapping up right into resistance, so nothing there. Our DDT. And guys, what we're doing here, this is part of it. We look at all the earnings. Anything that's gapped up, we want to take a look at to see if it's gapped up over an area of resistance. If it has gapped up, like this one, up over this area of resistance, this is Reddit, RDDT, it's gapped up over in this area of resistance. We want to see what is it doing. Well, we can see that it's gapped up over that area of resistance, and it's had a beat on their earnings. That's saying that they expected to have negative 854, and instead they have negative, or I'm sorry, not 800, $8.54, and instead they had negative $8.19. So it's still showing that this stock does not have earnings. Like they're not earning any money, you know. Now this is Reddit. You guys know Reddit. I don't really know how to play this at this point because I don't see them being a company that's going to earn money. Now, if we just played price action, we could see it's got a lot of attention here. We could play a market, market open. But it's not, this isn't my type of trade. I'm talking myself out of it because I need to, because I look at this thing and I go, this thing could really be something else. This thing could really rip, especially because look at that volume on there. It had a ton of volume right before earnings. So this could be something. Maybe I do keep this on my watch list. Okay, CRUS, Serious Logic, right into resistance. GMED, huge gap up there. Wow. Right into resistance as well. OPFI, nothing. PAYO, that's looking pretty good. Let's see what they did here. 5, 8, didn't really double, so it's not. Just looking for episodic pivots here, guys, because episodic pivots can make your account if you find the right ones. And they're hard. They don't come around very often, but when they come around, everybody wants to jump in after you know, after you're already in, right? We want to be first. So if you can get in these early, everybody else just carries it on for you. So I'd like to see, that's right into resistance. So we have Reddit, and that's really about the only, I don't want to go through all these. Just stick to what I got. Okay, so let's see. We have on my watch list now. We'll go through my watch list. So guys, this is part of the process because we're going to have market open here in about 15 minutes. Now I want to go through what I'm looking at, right? We have Reddit. We have CRDL. I'm looking for this base breakout here. I don't have to worry about it. I already have my alert set. We have ENPH, which I'm already in short. I shorted up here in this yellow area. You can see 118.42. We're trading at 113 right now, so I know I'm up wildly on that. M chip, okay, I tried to play this breakout yesterday. It didn't work out. It ended up stopping me out. I had a really nice tight stop, and I needed to keep it tight because if the breakout's not working, well, what's going to happen? It's going to come back down. So I don't want to be in this thing if the breakout's not working out. The breakout did not work out. So now I have my alert set, but I want to keep an eye on it. I want to see new higher lows being made here. I want to see this rip to the north side. OSCR. OSCR. This really ripped in the pre-market on earnings. It came all the way back down. I had set for some reason, maybe added below, but I'm just going to keep an eye on this thing. This is a cup and handle, a cup with a handle. But the earnings is what ruins it because it's kind of hard to get into something where the earnings is coming out in 3 days. So I'm going to keep an eye on this, but I'm not going to play with this thing. I have this just to bring me pain, just because I tried to get into this thing yesterday. It stopped me out and then did exactly what I wanted it to. My issue with this was earnings broke up, broke back down, found support, and I did not reset my alert. All right, so it took off without me. Really sad to see because I really wanted to be a part of KLG. We did make plenty of money on KLG. We bought this in right here at 21.37. We rode this all the way up here, and we took out half of our shares somewhere in this area. And then when this came back down, we ended up stopping out somewhere in here when it broke the 10-day moving average. I think it was right here on this day at market open. We ended up closing out the last piece of that position. So we got the meat of the move. I wanted to get back into this after the downtrend, but you can't catch them all. AXON, I'm keeping my eye on. EME, it looks like it did gap up above this area. I have this marked for a retest. So I like to see retests a lot of times. So this is a beautiful cup with handle. It broke out above. If this can come back down and retest this area, I'm going to get into this as long as the overall market's looking good. CEG, this is looking really good. Broke out this base. The issue is earnings. Earnings ruins everything. That'll be tomorrow. It looks like before market open. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one. We have HWM, which is that aerospace, that B. Stewie. He's not with us right now. He's taking his boy to school, but he has been watching this. It's clearly a leader in the market. We also have PPAA in that same sector and AVAV in that same sector. All looking hot, all looking extended, all needing more time. Let's see, anything else we want to look at? A-Lab. Ooh, A-Lab had a breakdown here. Broke way down. Wow. So A-Lab's definitely one I'm going to keep on my watch list, keep watching. I like to bring up NVIDIA. I ended up exiting my trade in NVIDIA yesterday. Right about here at 900 because things were looking heavy. I'm happy with the trade. Made, I don't know, I think in total around $800 or $900. I'd have to go back and look. But I'm really happy with the trade. Now I'm just waiting for another trend line. I'll get back in this thing, but I want to see where it's going to come back to. Now I have this uptrend line. I think it can come all the way back down to this trend line, which would also average out to its moving average right here. So maybe it slowly comes back down. It retests this trend line heading to the north side. I don't have to be a part of it. My capital's not in it. So those are some of those stocks that I'm looking. We also have Hood. Hood had this beautiful downtrend and it broke up, but Hood has earnings coming up on the 8th. Actually, we should look up the earnings really quick. Let me bring it up in our Discord here. We want to, our good old Dan, Bob Dan always brings this up, puts this in the earnings news, so that way we can just click on it very easily and see. So I have it blown up here, guys. Today is Wednesday, so we have, oh my goodness, guys. We have Uber. Uber failed. We have ARM. ARM's going to be after market hours today. We have Hood. We have AFRM, Affirm. It's funny, I can just look at all these and I know all the ticker symbols. I've been doing this long enough now. It's like, do you even really say Apple, or is it AAPL now? Okay, so Affirm had earnings. You can see it's running into some resistance. Big wicks off the top there. That might be a nice short. Let's see, what else do we have? DOUL, Duolingo, or DUOL? Yeah, DUOL is Duolingo. So it has earnings as well after hours. That should be a good one. AMC, just because I know there's some apes out there. That's coming on after market hours. Tomorrow we got Roblox, Blink, Canadian Solar, Unity, which is you. That should be a good one for tomorrow. It's very well beat down, so if we can get a good pop on Unity, that would be great. We got AB and B. Let's see, Airbnb. What is Airbnb, guys? I can't remember. ABNB, that's it. Okay. Airbnb comes out after hours today as well. That's a fan favorite to trade. Wow, this is actually still looking really constructive. I'm surprised, actually. I don't necessarily believe in Airbnb. Not that the market gives a shit what I think, but I just don't see it being a good model for the future. So yeah, that's what we got going on with that. Things are looking really nice, guys. Now, just before I head out, we'll go over what I have in my current holdings. So I'm holding Tesla. I'm short Tesla. I'm looking for a bigger move in Tesla. It broke below its moving averages this morning. We're trading at 171.50 or 171.39. Because it's below its moving averages, I'm going to hold on to this thing. I've already exited out of some of that position. We took that position at 179.78 when things started to look heavy, when I assumed it was going to break through this low, because it bounced off of it and it retested it and it looked heavy with the overall market coming down as well. I decided to take a short in Tesla because when the market was doing good, Tesla was doing bad. So when the market's going to do bad, when I say bad, I mean a pullback, I think Tesla's going to fail even quicker. So if I'm expecting a pullback, I rather hold Tesla, which was never holding up well against the market's current anyway. Also, I'm short ENPH, which I took here at this top at 118. We're down, it's down to 113, so I'm up wildly on that. I'm expecting it to come down to around this 107 area. I'll probably exit about 108, so we'll see where that goes. And then, of course, I'm long SHIP. We already went through that with you guys, though. It's gapped up in the after hours, so that's looking very nice. So we'll close on this. I always close by looking at the S&P 500. It is coming down, trading at 515 currently, the QQQs, and then the IWM. They're all pulled back. We want to see where they're going to end up landing us. So the IWM just above a 50, the QQQ, I believe, riding right on that 50. Nope, still just above it, and the S&P 500 with still more room to come down, still leading right now. The S&P 500 is leading. So that's what I got for you guys today. If there's any questions in the Discord, we can do that after. Let me close out by saying thank you. Thank you for watching. If you've made it all the way through, leave a comment in the bottom that says hamburgers, because that just sounds delicious right now. And I appreciate it. I appreciate it if you made it all the way through. If you didn't make it all the way through, well, bye-bye. See ya. No, only kidding. Guys, if I brought you any form of entertainment, any knowledge, any experience to your portfolio, do me a favor. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. We want you to be a part of this just as much as I want you to be a part of this, okay? So you enjoy your night, you enjoy your day, whatever time frame you're watching this. I hope you learned a little something about the process of the pre-market prep. Thank you.